President Trump. He is on his Truth Social platform saying that Charlie Kirk has passed away. So again, I'm going to read to you what the president said. The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead.
Dishonor to be the person that says this and breaks this to you on television, but President Donald Trump is announcing on Truth Social, the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No.
Mrs. Erica Kirk.
My husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice. I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically to save Charles's life, and the police who acted bravely to make sure that there were no other victims on that terrible afternoon.
In person, you know, he was like, we were really close, and he was my best friend and my brother, and I will never unsee the footage of what I saw, the violence of it. I pray for the people who took any pleasure in that. There's not a single person in the world that I would wish that on. And least of all, someone with a heart like Charlie's. He loved his family, he loved his wife, he loved his country. And he didn't deserve that ending. You know, he's really young. But I know that we will carry the torch. I will never allow the memory of Charlie to be forgotten, obviously, because there is no Candace without Charlie. You know, we came up in politics together, and so I don't know what else to say, guys, other than I'm in a lot of pain right now. And I love you, Charlie, and you know, I'll see you when I'll see you.
If you watch that video at the beginning, and I made that intro with Charlie Kirk's daughter singing "Yes, Jesus Loves Me," because I think that's what we need in this world, is Jesus. We veered way too far off as Americans. The amount of disgusting things I have seen said about Candance Owens in the past month, and I've had people personally say things to me about Candance, and I sympathize with Candance because I was a law enforcement officer for 7 years at a local agency here in North Carolina, and I had an officer on my team who was my personal mid-shift teammate that died. And the things that I saw personally between the people within the department that talked shit about him, called him names, you know, when he died, it was, yeah. So I have an understanding. If I was able to have a voice at that time, I would have went ham on some of these people. And if you see this and you're offended, but guess what? I don't give a shit. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Candance, in my opinion, is doing what a friend should do. She witnessed her best friend literally murdered on camera. When Candance broke the news about the French, I instantly had been thinking that for a long time, me personally. Because if you know anything about just the way Europe works and how they have a stronghold in this country, you would have a very great understanding of how a death of Charlie Kirk creates what we're in right now, which is confusion, hatred, and everybody clinging to something of just relevance. And they just can't stand the fact that Candance is way over that. She's on to something. She has been. This woman makes $150K an episode almost. You're telling me she's going to sacrifice her career for nonsense? Like, no. It's a crime. It's like a true crime show at night. That's why I like Candance. It's like true crime. She's not doing anything wrong. What is the outcome of this? What if Candance is right? We're not going to see anybody in handcuffs. No politician, no billionaire, no millionaire ever goes to jail for anything they do. Only the ones that were captured in the Me Too movement, and I even have to question those. The real criminals that exist in this world, the people that would want a Charlie Kirk out the way for nothing more, just to create a little something to make you trip for a second, to make you go, ow, my knee. And then it heals and you move on. But the thing is, I don't think people are moving on from this, especially not Candance. She's not letting up. Like, be honest, what does a debate with TPUSA and Candance do for anybody like me? What? You watch Candance single-handedly destroy a business with things that she believes occurred? If you ask me, do I believe the narrative of Charlie Kirk? No, I do not believe that Charlie Kirk was killed by some transgender loving boyfriend who just wanted to shut him up. I think that's just too cliche, right? That just matches a particular party's narrative. But at the end of the day, what I think it ultimately stems down to is Charlie Kirk was a part of a political system. He was the rising person in this political movement of neoconservatism in America. And I believe that there was a presidential path for someone like him. And I think that his death could cause ripples in a movement that could completely fracture it. I think that we are on a spectrum somewhere in the office, the powers that control these narratives. I think when we get a little too questionable, or we start looking smart, or we start feeling like we're good, you get a reset. And those resets can be anything. Think about it. I'll put some little videos right here. Think about the resets, things that get your attention back into place. Like, oh, there's Afghan nationals killing soldiers. Let me hate Muslims again. I think all of this shit is connected. I think we're all being distracted. We're all being manipulated. I find it amazing that a year ago, this current administration was so, we're going to get everybody. Nobody's in cuffs. Nobody's locked up for the crimes they've committed. We just recently learned that congressmen were colluding with Jeffrey Epstein. They're in the middle of hearings. But this person's still in office, voting on bills that impact you daily. But they're going to get up here on the podium and tell you that Donald Trump is the problem. Donald Trump is not my problem, not your problem. I'm past the Trump shit. I'm done. I'm past. I don't hate the man. I'm just looking into the future. And the future right now, the current where we're at seems to be that we're in some sort of oligarchy that just cares about putting billionaires and protecting pedophiles. That's where I think we're at in this country. I think that's the great distraction. Candance is definitely a part of this. She has been the major role in exposing the elites all across the world. And whether you believe it or not, there is some substance to it. As a cop, dude, listen, not everybody's lying to you, right? When I would interview people, I always tell myself, there's always a truth and a lie. Even if you're lying to me, you're telling me the truth of something. You're going to give me something. And I was always really good at finding those things. And I'm telling you right now, Candance is not lying at all. Yes, the French assassination attempt might be a game. They might be effing with her just to make her look crazy. Just think about it. You plant a little story in her head. She makes a croak. Everybody goes crazy. She's in a nutcase. Candance, this is my message to you. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're not wrong. I believe you. Millions of people believe you, obviously. And even if you're wrong, even if it's not right, even if it's here but really it's over there, I think you're doing the right thing as a friend. I think it shows the love you have for Charlie, because I don't see anybody else really doing anything or saying anything. They're just gonna go, oh, the narrative. That's it. Trans loving boyfriend climbs on roof, assassin. I mean, guys, let me break this down for you real quick. Thomas Crooks was an amateur shooter. You could clearly see he didn't know what the hell he was doing. Walking around with shorts, looking like a foo-foo baby with that big-ass forehead. Gets up here all sloppy and shit. People recording him. CNN just so happens to be covering the rally as if they covered rallies all the time. I'm just saying. Sloppy. And then Charlie Kirk. Professional, fast, efficient. Next shot, no exit. Bone so strong that it deflected the bullet. Just stop reading into the comments and on X and just think about what they're presenting to you. Does it make sense? So is it unreasonable for someone like Candance Owens, who does what she does, to go on this tirade to find out what happened to her friend? Maybe it was done on purpose. Yeah. I'm DJ Reels You In though. You gotta go follow. You gotta subscribe. The next 10 years in this country, I really don't have. I read the books. I read history books. I think we're 1855 in right now. And for those who know what I'm talking about, we're in the 1850s. You think we're gonna have World War III? No. It's gonna be here. So the divide already happened. Sides have been chosen. It's time for you to pick a side.
First secrecy is repugnant, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, to secret oath,